In this episode, we're going to explore 3 different ways to change the style of an image. All 3 approaches aim to achieve the same goal: transforming the visual style while keeping the original content intact. We'll use an existing image as a reference and let the model reinterpret it in a new style. For this example, we start with an image of a man running. We drag this image into the upload slot so it becomes our reference image. Next, we select Nano Banana Pro. At the moment, this is one of the models that performs best when it comes to changing the style of an image while preserving the subject. Now we move to the prompt box. Here, the instruction can be very simple. We start with a base prompt. We write, "Transform this image at IMG1 into a clay animation style." We click Generate. While the model processes the request, the key thing to notice is that we're not changing the subject. We're only changing how it looks. Once the result appears, we can clearly see how the same image has been reinterpreted as a clay animation while keeping the original structure and identity. Now let's try one more example, using the exact same workflow. We only change the style description at the end of the prompt. Transform this image at IMG1 into a cartoon character. Using at IMG1 isn't required, but it helps reinforce which image we want to transform, making the intention clearer for the model. We generate again, and once more the process stays the same, but the visual result changes completely. With just these 2 examples, you can already see how powerful this method is. You upload one image, reference it in the prompt, describe the style you want, and generate. It's a fast, simple, and extremely effective way to restyle visuals. Now let's look at another way to change the style, this time using the style reference inside the image generator. For this example, we'll work with an image of a NASCAR driver. We drag the image into the panel on the left, just as we've done in previous episodes. Inside the References panel, we find Style. Clicking it opens the full style gallery, organized into categories like photography, illustration, 3D, and design. This approach works a bit differently from the first method. Instead of describing a style in words, here we're choosing from a set of predefined looks. It's especially useful when you're not completely sure which style you want, or when you want to explore different visual directions quickly. Even though we're using presets, we're still free to choose the model we want. For example, we can select Nano Banana Pro here as well, combining strong style transfer with one of the most reliable models. Let's apply one example to see how this works. We'll start with Retrowave from the photography category. In the prompt box, we write a simple instruction such as, "Transform my image into this style." Then we click Generate. The system creates several variations based on the selected model and the number of images we chose. What changes here is the visual language of the image, guided by the preset, while the original subject remains the same. This method is great for exploration. You can quickly switch between styles, compare results, and discover looks you might not have thought of describing manually. And once you find a direction you like, you can always refine it further with prompts. At the top right, you'll find New Style. Below this section, you'll see 3 ways to define a style: Reference Image, Prompt, and Train. Reference Image lets you define a style using a single picture uploaded from your laptop. The Prompt tab allows you to describe the style in words and support it with one image. You can describe the mood, colors, or lighting, combine text and image, and create a style from both sources. This gives the model more context and usually results in a closer match to what you have in mind. Finally, Train appears as the last option, allowing you to create a style by training it with multiple images and saving it as a reusable preset. The trade-off is that this method relies on an older, less advanced model, so the final quality may not match what newer models can achieve. Here you upload a set of images, usually between 10 and 50. Training a style with many examples gives the system a deeper understanding of the look you want, producing stronger and more consistent results. Each quality level clearly shows its credit cost, and for most cases, the default option works very well. Now let's move to the 3rd way to change the style of an image, which happens inside the editor. Open your original image and click Edit Image. Inside Edit, the 4th mode is Restyle. When it opens, you'll see 2 sections, Style and Color. Color allows you to shift the mood using predefined palettes. You can choose from cold, neon, pastel, vibrant or warm tones, or create your own palette using custom colors or an uploaded image. For this episode, we'll focus on style. Clicking it reveals several presets, and expanding the list shows even more options. To demonstrate the workflow, we select the Soft Watercolors preset. In this mode, there are no model options or variation settings. Only one image is generated, and the credit cost appears when you hover over the Restyle button. Once we click Restyle, the system creates a single version using that look. If we look back at the first method, using a reference image directly in the image generator with Nano Banana Pro, it's often the fastest, easiest, and most effective way to restyle an image. With these three approaches, you now have several simple ways to change the style of an image. See you in the next one.